right. I thought I'd come and sit where the sunshine was. But I just wanted to share this little parenting tip. And it was, I read an article. I read so many interesting articles. I get these life hack interviews, and it's all areas of life, you know, from psychology to the science of the brain, why the brain does what it does, why we do what we do, and it's really interesting. But I read this really interesting thing about why it's more important to praise effort than intelligence in children. So, and this is something I had to look at it with my own child as well, because when, you know, our child will do something really well, get the answer right, you know, it can be spelling test, it can be, you ask them a question, they get the answer right, they draw a really good picture, and we praise that, which is, you know, fair enough, that's good. We should praise, you know, results. Of course we should. If they do something well, we should praise it. If they come third in the swimming gala or something like that, if they do really well at something, of course we should praise and give encouragement. But the article was interesting because it did studies on two different lots of children, and it found that so in one group, so both groups had to take a test. I think the children might have been 10 or 11 or something like that, but they did kind of, so they both had to do the same test, but in one group they were praised more on their efforts and on trying really hard, and in the second group they were praised for getting the answers right. And what they found was, that's it, and they had to do like pre-test studying, so they were doing a kind of pre-test examination type thing before the main test. And then, so in the first group they were praising the efforts of the study, of how they were getting on with their studies, and in the second group they were praising the intelligence, and then they were looking at how they got on in their main test based on how they'd been praised. And what they found is, with the group who were praised on their efforts, they worked harder and got better results in the final exam. And then what they found in the second lot of children was, because they'd been praised on their intelligence and on their results, they didn't try as hard in the final exam. So it kind of, and they think that the reason for this is that if you're praised for your efforts, no matter what the results are that you get, and this is, you know, adults as well, this is everybody. So if you're praised on having a good crack at something and trying really hard, you're more likely to be confident and to keep going and to be willing to try again and make mistakes and fail and keep learning. Whereas if you're only given praise when you get the right result, you're more likely to get despondent and think, well, I got it wrong, I'm not good enough, I didn't do well enough. So I just thought that was really interesting and just something to keep in mind, because sometimes with our children we're all doing the best we can, but sometimes just to be aware of something, it just causes a little tweak, you know, in the way that you interact with them or in the things that you focus on with your child. And I just thought that was really, really good. So I found now with my daughter, I give her lots of praise and encouragement anyway, but even if she just tries, if she's tried hard and she's struggling and she's making mistakes with something like her homework, I'll always say to her, well, you know, you tried to figure it out and you did really well, and let's sit and see if we can figure out the answer. But as long as you try, you know, so I always say to her, you know, you've got a little spelling test coming up, as long as you try your hardest, that's all you need to worry about. Because having the ability in life and in the real world, you know, if you've got the ability to keep trying and you develop tenacity and resilience, in my opinion, that's a much more important skill, much more precious skill than just getting the answers right. If you get the answers right, brilliant. But if you haven't developed the ability to keep going and keep trying, and when you get the answers wrong, I think that's far, far more important. The people who can really keep going, you know, are the people who really have to push hard and develop inner strength. Well, that's a really, really good skill to have. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of you know, you're willing to keep learning and maybe try new ways to get to the answer, and try new techniques and try out new things, and ask for help, which is another good skill. So yeah, so I hope that's kind of just given some new ideas to some parents, and I just think it's really good to be aware of these things and be aware of how, you know, everything we say and do has an impact on our children. So it's good to kind of give them the best start and help them develop confidence, you know, the confidence to keep going and to keep trying and trying new things. So yeah, take care everybody. Hope you liked my video. There should be another relevant video popping up somewhere, and there should be a subscription box popping up somewhere as well. I'm never quite sure which side it's going to pop up on. So if you like my videos, do subscribe. Please leave a like, share with your friends. If you've got parent friends, share these ideas and let's have a discussion about it.